Hey up! Come on! Let's have it! Alright! Mashbacksters rambling, whoa, whoa. Mashbacksters rambling, whoa, whoa. Mashbacksters rambling, stuff to see and songs to sing, whoa. Alright! Now then, welcome to another episode of Mashbacksters Rambling. Whoa, whoa, Mashbacksters Ramble. Oh no, I've just played the theme tune, haven't we? Right, we're out and about, roving. So today, have I got something to show you? No. Do you know why I haven't got anything to show you? Because they've fucking ripped it all down. Today, I'm going to take you to the places that were most influential on me growing up. The pubs and the clubs that are no longer about. Every town has got them that they've disappeared. But let's have a quick trip back down memory lane. Before we go there, just want to say a big thank you to subscribing and supporting us. Happy days. I've had some great comments from you. Couple of knobheads, but you know, par for the course, innit? So, come on, without further ado, let's get rambling. Ta-da! Check this out. One of Scunthorpe's oldest buildings, built in 1870 by the philanthropist Roland Wynne, which probably is why it's on Roland Road. So this is Coronation Club, okay? It was originally built as a cottage hospital. Yeah, right there. Sorry, we're going anywhere. Yeah, originally built as a cottage hospital and mortuary, which is quite important because performing on the stage in there, you were actually on the top of the mortuary. So yeah, proper weird, freaky gaff. But many in the mid-90s, many great nights in here. Sadly, it's no longer a club. No idea what it is. Some gadget bought it, done out with it. But Stuart was the last guy I ever worked for in there. Little Stu, he used to love Neil Diamond. So as long as you kicked off with Neil Diamond, you did whatever you wanted the rest of the night. So this is Coronation Club. Look at me, it's just a wonderful building. Whoa, fucking hell, he nearly had me over then. Look at him, barmy. Used to go in Saturday night, so one, I'd get paid. Two, I had a chance of winning bingo, although you could win the house, the usual £10 house, get in. But if you did it in 54 numbers or less, because you weren't a member, you couldn't win the jackpot. Really? Yeah. Are you local? And then they also had meat raffle. But the one thing I do remember about this place, because you can see the size of it, it's huge, absolutely huge. This was classic because it had the tallest ceiling of any venue in Scunthorpe. It had the highest stage, but it had the smallest dressing room. I shit you not, I had been in bigger women. It was Diddy. Just by the way, if anybody gets offended, grow up. So that's Coronation Club. Sadly it's not a club anymore. Fell into disrepair. I would love to take a look in, because I bet it's still in the same state. One of the other memories I had about it, which was like, wow, how mad is that? They used to use it early on while you were setting your gear up. They would have the Pigeon Club results coming in. Now they were an exciting set of chaps. They all came in carrying the little box with a clock on, and every one of them, they were about 50-year-old, and they all looked very similar. I'm not saying they were dull or anything, but they all looked like they lived in a bedsit and have never kissed a girl. Pigeon Club, whatever happened to them? Coronation Club. Let me just show you down around the corner, because I love this as well. You know, who was it? Blur. I'm not sure if it was Park. There you go, look, Coronation Club. I'm not sure if it was Park Life or Boys and Girls. They did a video where they were in they were in front. He had his feeler tracky top on, and they were in front of all these little terraced houses. I'm just going to show you this. This is classic. Let me turn the camera around. So that is Trent Street. Look at that. That is so original. These were the first steelworkers' houses. I mean, they're pretty tasty for back in the day, bearing in mind it was sort of 1870. Because like I said, until 1937, it actually turned into a working men's club just before the war, which I actually think caused the war. So that's Trent Street. What a great film location. Right, this next place is neither a pub nor a club. So cast your minds back to possibly, let me think, it would have been late 80s, 88, 89. And my mum was getting a bit jacked off with me at home. She says, Arian, you're going to have to get a bloody job. You have to get a bloody job. I'm sick of you nicking. You can't earn a living from nicking stuff. No, because you're going to end up in bloody clink. And I'm not bailing you out. So I said, all right then, Mum. Now, there was only one place in Scunthorpe at the time where you didn't need to be that bright to get a job. And it was called Darbys Glass. Okay, Darbys Glass, very famous amongst the people in the know. So I'm just going to turn this around because Darbys Glass, it was an immense factory. It was a glass factory, obviously, because it was Darbys Glass. But it was spread right across the back of South Park Industrial Estate. Let's see what it is now. Again, shocking. Look, it's a bloody great housing estate. It goes on and on and on and on. But back in the late 80s, we had such a good crack in there. Now, the reason that it's so important to me that Darbys Glass was in my life, this is seminal, absolutely seminal, because we were on nights and it was a really, really loud environment, toughening plant. Fucking dangerous as hell as well, but you had no chance of union, else you're out. So we're on nights, and they just brought out the Sony Walkman, so you could listen to music with your little cassette and that. So we were doing our best of cassettes, you know, where you'd stop it on top of the pops every Sunday or whatever it was. But a mate of mine came in, John Reed from Burton. John Reed, he came in and he says, have a listen to this, have a listen. Bearing in mind, I've done very little singing at this point. Certainly not vocal stylising like I do now. So he gave me this cassette, and I banged it on. I thought, you know, that's all right. Bearing in mind, at the time, I was listening to stuff like Stiff Little Fingers, The Jam, a little bit of the back end of the Scar stuff. But it was Neil Diamond. It was Neil Diamond, the jazz singer. How that would have changed my life, and did. Yeah, so I'd just unwittingly, I'd be singing along to the words after a couple of nights listening to it. Stuff like Hello Again, America, Love on the Rocks. It does sound better than that normally, obviously. I'm over accentuating it, been bad for effect. So yeah, I often think if he'd have, so he gave me the Neil Diamond, and I went on to be a Neil Diamond tribute act, taking me all over the world performing the songs of Neil Diamond. I've been as far afield as Skipsy and, you know, at the other end of the world, Mablethorpe. Oh, I've been everywhere. And Spain as well. But, you know, it's not Mablethorpe, is it? No. So I often think, had I have not been given that Neil Diamond cassette and, say, been given Barry Manilow, would I have been a Barry Manilow tribute? I don't know. Really don't know. But the other thing that happened in that factory, I was on 2 to 10, and unusually, I was on time. So I went on 2 to 10, lifted a bit of glass up, the top piece smashed off. Look, I don't know whether you can see that scar right down. I still can't do that. No. But, you know, it's all right. But hey! And with the compensation payout, I bought my first ever PA. Yeah, I bought my first ever PA for having my hand nearly fucking ripped off in that factory. with no union to back you up. So yeah, happy memories in there, and still got a lot of mates that I'm quite close to. We all worked together back then. It was a crack and a half. One of the this'll tickle you. Darby, the guy who owned it, had put an outside line in case anyone needed to phone up on nights. So at the time, they'd just brought out them chat lines, like, you know, 0898 555555, chat back. So we thought, we'll give that a go on nights, because we used to drink little bottles of Stella that when the fellas from abroad used to bring the glass from France and flog us Stella, we'd get through a crate of Stella on nights, just me and Flash. Happy days, yeah. How the fuck we didn't slice our heads off? But hey ho. So we give this chat line a ring. Might have been me, might have been somebody else, I'm not saying. And then we left it on the off the hook. That was on the Friday night. We left it off the hook till Monday. Didn't mean to, Mr. Darby, but end of the day, you were still a millionaire anyway. Unbeknown to us, that cost him a couple of grand because the dirty phone line terminated in Guyana. Oh, we got up to some mad shit in there, yeah. Darbys Glass, place in my heart. Were it not in there, I would not have listened to Neil Diamond, probably. So, thank you. Onwards and upwards, places to go, rambling to do. Right, this next place, have I got something to show you? Have I bollocks? Look at it, look at it. That what you're looking at there, okay? That what you're looking at there used to be the Brown Cow. Yeah, the Brown Cow. Now the Brown Cow was a John Smith's pub. Didn't mean an awful lot to me, although when the Brown Cow was there, I was party to aiding a world record. Oh yes, I never got mentioned in the Guinness Book or out like that, but there was a drummer in Scuny. Let's turn you around and show you. There was a drummer in Scuny, and upstairs they had a wonderful ballroom with a brilliant dance floor and a local drummer, proper eccentric nutcase, always stunk of garlic, called Trev Mitchell. Now Trev Mitchell wanted the world record for the longest drum marathon with no break. So he got all the local musicians. This was around about 86, 87, I would guess. And he set off like a trooper. He set off like John Bonham giving it rock all. By the end of it, he was nearly bollocksed. He was. He had a little drum round his neck there. He was dribbling and tapping. But we got up and did a few songs to keep him going. So that was me. Been party to a world record. The Brown Cow. Sadly, now an Aldi. Yeah. So we can't really go in there to show you everybody because a lot of them are a little bit rough. Brown Cow. I'm going to show you a montage of places that are no longer here. So I'm going to play one of my songs for you. If you like it, download it on your Spotify's or your Amazon or whatever shite that you listen to music on. So to accompany these pictures, this is Mash Baxter. There's no place like home. Have a listen. Lamplight in the window, memories on the wall, simple pleasures everywhere, we've got it all. We built ourselves a castle beyond the rainbow's end. The king and queen, two lovers, the best of friends. Oh, there's no place like home. Everything we want and more is right there beyond the door. Like calling ship to shore. Oh, there's no place like home. There's nowhere I'd rather making memories. There's no place like home. Everywhere I've ever been, every place I ever go, doesn't matter where I roam, there's no place like home. 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 Nowhere I'd rather be, me and you, just you and me, side by side making memories. Oh, there's no place like home. Everything we want and more is right there beyond the door. There's no place like home. No matter where I roam, oh, there's no place like home. There's no place. There's no place like home. See this face? This is the face that is in shock. So I've come back to where I did my first ever solo gig, and it was where I was born and bred, in a place called Westcliff. Now the last time I came here, the precinct was still there, and I thought I'll do a bit of filming, have a walk through the precinct, and then show you the Desert Rat. Well, obviously the fucking housing estate that's the Desert Rat. But I knew the Desert Rat had been pulled down. Look at this. That's the fucking precinct. That's where we used to knock around. That's where we used to have gas and shit. They've raised it to the ground. I am proper in shock on this. Like I say, I knew the pub had gone. Well, a piece of me's just died. Anyway, cast your minds back to 1994. I'd gone solo. Oh yeah, I'd been playing with bands for a few years, and I'd gone solo. So my first gig was at the Desert Rat, which is that house there. The landlady was proper old school landlady, Lexi. And at the end of the night, she used to pay you out of a plastic money bag in a bra. And he was like, thanks, Lexi. Man alive, some happy memories in there. Mavis was a good old game bird, and she used to dance close to you with her skirt up. And you're like, whoa, what are you doing, Mavis? What are you doing? Yeah, the Desert Rat. All gone. I knew that. It featured on Skint, I believe, you know, where they were sensationalising people who were, what were they? Skint? Yeah. But I had no idea that they pulled the precinct down. Wow. I think I'm going to go home and have a drink. I'm in shock. So there you go. That was Desert Rat. There. All gone. That was the precinct. All gone. Fond memories. See you later, Desert Rat. Love you always. Bing bong. Next stop, all changed from Dolphin to Miller Carter. So this was the Dolphin. Now the reason the Dolphin was important to me, I probably, in that building there, I probably did 25 years of my 30 plus thus far regular work in there. Yeah, loads of gigs. They did a function room on the back, and I was the first one to sing in the function room. When it shut down a couple of years ago to change to Miller Carter, I was the last one to sing there, so first and last, yeah. Bit weird. But for about 8 years, I used to do a music quiz in that very room there. And you still get people coming up and saying, God, I used to fucking love your music quiz. It was sick. And not sick as in, oh, that's cool, that's sick. No, sick as in it was fucking twisted. It was, I can imagine now, woo, 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 woke alert. Yeah, I can imagine now doing the same quiz that I would probably end up getting sent down or something. I used to do stuff like a picture round, and it would be a famous song. So to give you an idea, there'd be a tin of soup with a bread bun, so that would be Roll With It. American Pie, picture of the flag and a pie. Simple stuff. Can you imagine what the picture was to Come On Eileen? Oh yes, it's a mental image right there, isn't it? So yeah, that was the Dolphin. Some great memories in that place. And it wasn't a bad old gaff to gig in as well. But if you really want a substandard meal, that's the place for you nowadays. Crack on. See you later. Alrighty then. Save the best till last. Simply the best. Gold! Yeah. Last stop. And this place is still here. Wonderful. Before I show you it, I'll just give you a bit of an insight as to why it means so much to me. Now, this pub was in the late 80s just the premier music venue in Scunthorpe for bands like Gypsy, who were a duo from Grimsby, Lorraine and Pete. Fantastic. They was as good as it got. You had Cardi, Nick and Diane. You had Ocean Blue with Chris Ocean and Terry. And you had the birth of the Ham Shanks. I shit you not. Yeah, you heard me right. The Ham Shanks. Colin Baxter on guitar. Andy Perry on drums. Flash Stevenson on bass. And to top the lineup, me on vocals. Oh yeah. So we decided to start a band because there was nothing to do once the football season had finished. And our kid had already played guitar before. Pez said, well, I've got a set of drums in the attic from when I was in a punk band. And Flash says, I will learn bass. Not I can play bass, I'll learn bass as well. If we're taking the piss then, I'll be the singer. So we got together and in the cellar of this building, before I let you know which one it is, there was an old boxing ring. So it was a fair-sized cellar. So we practiced down there for 6 months to learn 3 songs for a start, which were, if I remember rightly, it was Under the Boardwalk, because Bruce Willis was riding high in the charts at the time. We did Teenage Kicks and The Wonder of You. What a fucked up eclectic mix there, yeah. Bit of punk, bit of plagiarism, and a bit of Fat Dead Bloke. So that was the 3 that we learned, and we stayed down there for 6 months, and then we reappeared upstairs on our first ever gig because we'd beaten Apfrod in the cup that day. So it was the debut for the Ham Shanks. Alrighty, so let's show you the pub. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? You've probably guessed it by now. Let's get out the van. Get a rambling. Have you guessed it yet? Is it a giveaway? There's the flats. There's the garages. Keep coming round. Oh, there she be. There she be. It's an oasis. The Lincoln Imp. The Imp. Imp. This was and still is a wonderful, wonderful music venue. And thankfully recently, because people give a fuck, it's been saved because they were trying to raise it to the ground, which is it just me, or how the fuck does raise mean taking something to the ground? Surely raise means going up. Anyway, that's besides the point, Mash. The Lincoln Imp, the biggest part of my youth still musically. What a great place. You've got to keep supporting this gaff, because seriously, it's a community hub. It's just a wonderful place, a wonderful venue. So keep supporting the Imp, and let's not let it disappear like the rest of them. Oh. Look at him, look at him, look at him. Yeah. Save the Imp, save the Imp. So that's the last one. I hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Mash Paxter's Rambling. Woo, woo. Catch you laters. Signing out. Hasta la vista, baby. Now then, hey up, come on, let's have it. All right.